Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a demo and first impression / review on this palette by NYX. This is their Off Tropic Shifting Sand palette. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So if you're interested in my first impression, demo, and review of this, keep watching. I was in Target the other day and I ran past this palette and I saw one that was already swatched and stuff, and I was looking at it and it looked gorgeous, so I actually decided to pick it up. So this palette was $19.99 at Target, so about $20, but I did look on Ulta's website yesterday. They actually have this palette on sale for $14. You get 10 eyeshadows. So this is how the palette looks right here. Now the colors are really gorgeous. The colors obviously are why I bought this palette. The colors are gorgeous. The packaging is also really nice, and I feel like this is a different setup for NYX like palettes. I have their Ultimates palette and it's kind of set up kind of like a square, so I love that they're kind of branching out, trying different things as well. I have not used it. I've only swatched a couple of colors, so we're going to be doing like my first impression, demo, and review on this today. I also want to note that on the back it looks like there's two different formulas in the palette, so I don't know if you could see. Let me try and zoom you in. Okay, so you see where they have the numbers over here and then they have like stars as well. So on the numbers that have the stars, those are going to be pressed pigments, and then the other ones that do not have the stars are regular eyeshadows. So I did want to mention that my eyelids are already primed and set. I primed them with concealer and set them with a powder. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm going to take this mustard color right here, and I believe this is just a regular eyeshadow if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is just a regular eyeshadow. So right off the back is actually like very pigmented, more pigmented than I thought it would be, honestly. So that's good. It's actually like showing up on my skin tone. Sometimes with these mustard kind of yellow shades, they don't really always show up on my skin tone. So the fact that this one did, it's really nice. Yeah, so this color is not too bad. It's actually blending out pretty well. I'm not having any issues blending it out, so that's great. I don't know what direction I want to take this look in, honestly. I don't know what I'm using. I'm just going with the flow. I feel like the green color right here is calling me, but then I'm like, do I want to be that bold today? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just switching to a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to take, let's take this brown shade, and we're going to put that in the crease and also kind of like the outer corner, and just blend that into the crease a little bit. So I don't know if they've improved their formula or anything like that, but I remember I tried NYX eyeshadows maybe like 3 or 4 years ago now, and I was not impressed at all. I had bought like a single pressed shadow and it was like horrible. It like didn't even show. I actually still have it. See how much of a hoarder I am? So this is really pretty. As you can see, it's showing up pretty well on my skin tone, and so far I actually have no fallout, and I didn't even put anything down to catch any fallout, so pray that I do not have any fallout. Okay, so that, I mean, I have nothing bad to say. It actually looks really nice, blended out really well, and so far the shades I've tried are actually really pigmented. So now I'm actually gonna go in with this darker brown shade, deepen this look up just a little bit, nothing too dramatic. So I'm gonna like put in this right kind of like in the center of my lid here, and I'm gonna blend it like halfway into that crease. We're gonna get into like the specifics of the palette after I finish the eye look. I just really wanted to get started on the eye because I know it could take me years upon years, you know, and we're not trying to be watching a video for like 30 minutes on just eyes, you know what I'm saying? It's not skipping or anything like that. Sometimes, you know how matte shadows, when you try and blend them out, it kind of skips a portion and leaves like this blankness. It's not doing that at all. So from here, we're just gonna add a lid color, and I kind of want to do the green, but then I also kind of want to do this purple here. We're gonna do the purple, so I'm just gonna go in with this flat shader brush. Ooh, my brushes are really dirty, y'all. I actually really need to wash them. We're gonna take this purple eyeshadow, dust off for fallout. There's actually nothing coming off, and we're gonna put this on the lid. Okay, that's pretty, you guys. That's really gorgeous. Wow, I did not expect this at all from this palette, actually. And I'm just kind of stamping it on. And then I'm going to go back to my blending brush and blend this out in the crease. What do you guys think? Also, I went ham on my eyebrows today. I don't know what's going on. If you can be honest with yourself, who can be honest with you, boo? So I'm loving how this came out. I didn't really want to do too much. We are going to add some little drama in the lower lash line though. So I'm going to take this LA Girl Glide Gel Liner. This is in the shade Paradise Purple. And I'm going to take this in my lower lash line. So I'm also going to take a brush like this and I'm going to go into that mustard shade that we have put into the crease, and I'm going to use this to blend out that gel liner that we just put into the lower lash line. Now I'm going to add a brow bone highlight, and I'm going to use this shade right here. And then lastly, we're going to add the gold shade here, this one, as an inner corner highlight. So this gold shade is actually the only one that I'm having trouble with. This is how it looks, but it's not really giving me full pigment like I need. Let's try and swatch it. So that's how it swatches, a little rough swatch. So it looks nice, but it's kind of taking forever to even just build this up in my inner corner. So this is the finished eye look, just something really just simple so that we could test out the eyeshadows. So I'm actually gonna go finish the rest of my face, and then I'll be back and I'll give you guys my final thoughts on the palette, what I think, if it's worth it, and so on and so forth. So be right back. So now let's get into my final thoughts about the NYX Off Tropic Shifting Sand palette. You get 10 shadows once again. So this palette has 6 mattes and then 4 non-mattes, and it also has 2 different formulas. It has a pressed pigment formula and then just a regular eyeshadow formula. So I really love the color scheme of that. I will say that right off the bat, I think NYX did a really good job with the color scheme of this palette. It's very enticing. I feel like the colors are also very cohesive in how it's set up in the actual palette, and that's something I actually pay attention to. I love when like companies really think about how they're going to place the shadow in the palette. I just find, I don't know, it's just really more interesting that way. So actually I have no complaints about the palette. As you can see, this is the eye look we got from the palette. I think the colors blended out very well. I think all of the colors I used were really pigmented. The only color I had trouble with blending, not even really blending because I didn't really put it anywhere to blend, but the only color I really had a problem kind of showing up full pigment, full force, was this gold shade right here that we put on our inner corner. It really took a while and a lot of dips with my brush to really bring the color out, and I still feel like on the inner corner it's not really even out as much as it could be. So that's the only color that I tried today that I had a problem with the pigmentation of it, but all of the other colors I used really were awesome. You guys saw I had no trouble blending it out. All of the colors were very pigmented off top, came through dripping, drip. Sometimes with palettes, when you go and blend other colors on top of them, sometimes they kind of skip or they don't really blend well with the other colors. I had no problem blending any of these colors out together. They all mesh pretty well. I actually really like the look I came out with, dressed in all black like the Omen. Now this is a pretty penny for a NYX palette, but I think it's pretty good. So I feel like $20 is kind of worth it. Now NYX, I need y'all, if y'all gonna go up in the price, I need the packaging to be amazing and I need the product to be amazing. Like some of their palettes, like the swear on it, one of those bigger palettes, I really wanted it, but it was like what, almost $40, and I'm like, girl. Now the quality I heard is really good, but I'm just like, NYX, like what y'all doing over there in the lab? You know, what's in the water? I do have to keep playing with it and try all of these shades in the palette. I pretty much tried most of the shades though. So I only had a couple of shades that I didn't actually use, but so far I really like this palette. I think it's worth it if you have $20 to spare. I think that it's worth it if you like the palette, if you like NYX as a company, and if these colors intrigue you. I think it's really dope. For the most part, I like NYX products. Like most of the stuff I've tried from NYX worked out pretty well, but I just didn't know what to expect with this palette, so it actually really surprised me, and it works very well. I'm very excited to keep playing around with it. So that's it for me. That's my review, demo, first impression on the NYX Off Tropic Shifting Sand palette. I'm gonna go ahead and go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Like this video if you liked it, share it if you want, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.